Hey everyone, my name is Monica Shane. Today I'd like to talk to you about low socioeconomic status and how it affects the whole student. This is an issue that is often invisible in our classroom, but it affects many of our students. When we think of poverty or low socioeconomic status, we think of money or the lack of it, but really it's about so much more than just money. Poverty or low socioeconomic status affects many parts of our students' lives. It affects their health, their emotions, their education, and even their hopes for the future. When looking at research conducted on low socioeconomic status, I looked at the different ways that it affected students. It affects their achievement gap, their mental health, their childhood development, their access to healthcare, but I also really set out to define what is poverty. My favorite article that I read was called An Examination of Poverty, Dimensions, Causes, and Solutions by David Tackey. What I liked about this article is that it defined poverty, but it also identified the two causes of poverty, which is structural or community poverty and individual. For individual poverty, it looks at the causes such as limited education, poor health, and lack of skills. Whereas structural poverty in our community are issues such as inequities in pay, poor governance, and an economic imbalance. One thing I learned from this article is that students who face low socioeconomic status often have a shortened life expectancy. They're not able to access the medical care that they need. And they also have a higher risk of developing a chronic illness for that same reason. One thing that really stood out to me in this article is Taki's solutions. He suggests that we provide additional supports for our students, whether it be free material, enrichment, or remediation activities before and after school, or even alternate assignments for students when they don't have the needed resources at home to complete the activity. When looking at evidence, I really wanted to go into my building to see what my school offers to students. What I found is that my school offers a host of different resources for students. My favorite, though, I would say, is Backpack Buddies. Backpack Buddies is a resource that we offer to students below a certain socioeconomic status. And we provide them with food that has been donated from churches or food banks. Um, and we give it to the students on Friday so that they have shelf-stable food to last them through the weekend. It's not always food that they want, but it's substances. It gets them through until that Monday when they can come back and get their free or reduced lunch. Another resource we offer that I was highly surprised and happy to see is that we offer families resources to free or dramatically reduce cost on mental and behavior health, clothing assistance, different food pantries, and places that families can go when they are suffering from abuse or different traumas. Um, this resource has been very beneficial to a student that I have in my classroom this year. It has been phenomenal. So it was great to see that. When looking at our concept map, I found that poverty is very cyclical. A child is born into poverty or into low socioeconomic status. They get behind in school because of their developmental delays. Um, they develop health issues, which continues to keep them out of school. And those health issues, when they're limited access to healthcare, are not good together. They have a higher risk of dropping out due to feeling to need to work more to provide money for their family. And then as an adult, this cycle just continues. A couple of solutions that I found to implement would be free resources, free healthcare for certain socioeconomic status families, but also time before and after school for our students to get that additional support and enrichment that they may need. Overall, I learned that poverty affects our students in so many different ways, and that we need as teachers to be uh, have empathy toward these students and understand that it's not in their control and they're doing everything they can in most times to be successful. It's just the circumstances they're in that are keeping them behind. Thank you so much.